welcome back to Bullet Catcher Gaming. This is Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and this is another mystery video of Aroa. Also looking into the collectibles that you can find around the map. Do any of them lead to any further mysteries or link in with the mysteries on the island? We believe some do and some do not, so that's why we're having a look at them. Thank you also for all of our new subscribers recently. We massively appreciate all the support you give us and all of the comments and suggestions, and we are reading them all, and we are taking note of some of the video suggestions that people have mentioned, and we are going to get round to doing them. Some will take longer than others, but we'll definitely get there, that's a promise. So this video is entitled The Murderer and the Scavenger, because we are specifically looking at two clues in this video. Now, this particular one, as you can see here, is the murderer, and it says, I fulfilled your deepest desires. Now you three will never grow old. You will remain exactly like I last saw you and sleep in the tombs I gifted you. Now, this one's got us slightly stumped, because here's the map. As you can see, I'm looking at the moment. There's the X on the map, and we are currently at that very location. And if I come out and show you on the map exactly where we are. We're right here. Jules is just dying in the background there. Here we go. We're right here. So just kind of south of Mocha-Dick Heights. Sorry, that's just really hard. So that's juvenile, but you know, it's just hard. But we're just hard. You get it? Oh, all right then. Boom, boom. But there we go. So this is where we are, and if you come to this location, you will find this grave. Now, there is a loot box, and a couple of people who have never been here before sometimes can get a trophy or a achievement that will pop when you come here. And there's not really much here other than this one grave. So we kind of were looking for some kind of feedback from anybody about what you think regarding this, because he clearly says there are 3 bodies. And with the 3 bodies, he says that there are 3. He says there are tombs. Now, I wouldn't class this as a tomb. This is just a grave. So obviously, we did a previous video called The 3 Tombs, and we don't know who are in those 3 tombs. So is this linked to the 3 tombs clue? Now, and is this possibly the gravesite of the murderer as opposed to the, believe it was 3 children? I mean, we've got some...
Who buried the murderer?
Exactly. There's some blood on this box right here, as you can see. So, did they kill them here and bury them right here? I presume so. It looks a very kind of cheap and quick kind of grave just thrown in there, but clearly to me this is, I don't know about you guys, but this isn't a tomb to me. So has this got a link with the 3 tombs? But if it has, who's in here? No idea. If you found any other graves around and you can help us with that, give us some more indications. If you found anything interesting, please let us know. And we'll do some more digging. But we've checked this whole area. There's nothing there apart from this grave. Nothing else. Literally nothing. But there you go.
Make it clear, the digging we're going to do is not grave digging.
Yeah.
No grave digging. Well, I would dig it up if I could. If I could drop the rifle and pick the shovel up, I'd go for it. Why not?
I mean, it could be, because there is like 3 rocks in this kind of disturbed ground bit.
Are there?
Is there? Yes. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. What? So each one, he cracked one of the kids' heads open with each rock.
I've fallen down the hill, so I've lost it a bit.
Okay. Right. Well, there you go. So if you can give us any more information, if you know or found anything interesting, please let us know in the comments below. So let's move off now to a completely separate clue, which is the scavenger. Right, so we have arrived at the scavenger first location. Now, this is also where you actually pick up the collectible, which is here on this X on the map, as I'm showing right now. The clue doesn't really make a lot of sense. It says an old satellite view from Cold War with recent a marking. Now, either someone whose English is maybe not their first language wrote that, which could well be, but that doesn't make sense to me, obviously. We think it's, but you know, it's pretty obvious what it means, but it just doesn't make sense. But what's interesting is if you go into some of the world lore, there is lots of information you can find about the Cold War, where it tells you about obviously I won't go through all of it, but the fight for global dominance obviously went on for decades, and it says about the fact that Aroa was obviously used in the Cold War, and that's why there are so many bunkers and things like that here. So there we go. So we're going to have just a quick look at this, and I'll show you where we are on the map so you know if you want to come and check this one out. Now, there's loads of these Cold War bunkers around, but there is a lot more stuff in this one than the usual ones. They're normally pretty empty, being used by Sentinel and stuff like that. And as you can see, there's radios, there's loads of stuff lying around. There's even someone's washing's hanging up, obviously where it was drying over this fire here. Yeah, exactly. And someone's been sleeping here.
Dry by now.
There is a radio there. Oh, it almost blew me up. But yeah, someone's boots hanging up, and if you drop down to the lower level, there is loads of old gear in here. There's, you know, cupboards and things like that, and obviously technology, possibly some kind of radio equipment or whatever it is. But yeah, so there's a bit more than some of the others, but it's all quite interesting. But let's obviously there is two parts to that clue, so we're going to go and check out the other one and just see if there's anything more interesting, or whether how these two things are linked together. So here we go. I can't get out the door, but when I get out the door, here we go. Right, so we have arrived at the second red marker on the map, and I'll show you exactly where we are. Right here. There we go, and it is one of these kind of hidden bunkers which is cut out into the rocks. If you head down in here, it doesn't really, these are one of those kind of ones that doesn't really add anything. It's more interesting stuff down here. There's some, you know, there's more loot and all the rest of it. There's a door which doesn't open, and lots of gear. I don't think this has got anything. This scavenger collectible's got nothing to do with the things on the island. This is more of just a little separate thing, but it's interesting nonetheless. And obviously, if you want loot, there's loot here. But yeah, it doesn't. There's not much here, really. This was a bit of a dead end.
It's not really blowing my skirt up, this room. It's very boring.
Yeah, it's not particularly interesting. It's more to do with just a bit of a kind of Cold War Easter egg. But, you know, these things have got to be checked out, but in case we find some more interesting stuff that, you know, can kind of fit into the overall mystery of the island. So that's why we're doing these. That's why we're finding out. But the murderer one is much more interesting because the clue doesn't make entire sense. I found that quite interesting. Does it have something to do with the three tombs? Is there something else somewhere which links that story together? That's what we're going to probably dig more into that. But the scavenger clue, bit of a dead end. Probably wouldn't bother with it, but we've showed it to you in case you do. So from the four of us, thank you so much for joining us. From myself, Gerthy Sausage 76, UK Jedi, Farah Bunders, we massively appreciate you watching. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Ta-da!